Hey there, everybody.
Hello, hello, hello.
And welcome back to the ReBoot Review,
It's Alphanumeric.
I'm Robin.
I'm Katie.
We're watching an episode of ReBoot and talking about this episode of ReBoot today.
That's what we do.
It is, here on the ReBoot Review. And today we're going to be watching and talking about System Crash. We're up to the second to last episode.
We made it.
Yeah, well, of the first 3 seasons anyway, which are kind of a separate, they're kind of their own self-contained thing, I find. So,
yes, that's how we're treating it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And, but before we get into these last 2 episodes, there's a conversation that I did want to have this episode about, because we're pretty much at the end of the series, just about. And I guess we wanted to talk about, do a little bit of retrospective on favorite and least favorite episodes. Because that's definitely, I think, a noteworthy topic or a pretty standard topic when you're doing a retrospective on something.
Right, and maybe some of you out there will agree with us or disagree.
Yeah.
You're welcome to have your own opinion, I suppose.
We love hearing opinions on this kind of thing because I think there's certain episodes that are clearly standouts, but the ones that you personally think are the best might differ for a whole lot of reasons. So let's start. So let's start with bottom 3 because I like to get sort of
get that through.
Get that out of the way first, just so that we don't come off as griping about the whole series. So
right.
So Katie, bottom 3.
Okay. Well, In the Belly of the Beast. Mm-hmm. It has to be on there because of how much we complained about it. If you want to go back to that episode, if you haven't listened, it's a gripe fest.
I feel like that one's pretty uncontroversial.
Yep.
I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of people who would disagree with us on that one unless they watched it when they were similarly minded, 8-year-old boys or something. When still identified with Enzo.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe, but otherwise, yeah, I feel like that's a pretty...
People with a deep attachment to their childhood pet maybe would be mad at us for feeling this way.
I don't know. I'm pretty attached to my childhood cat, and I don't feel anything particularly about Enzo's bond with Friskin in that episode.
You just didn't have a madcap adventure with her.
No, I guess not. No, she stayed pretty close to home most of the time.
So that one was not ideal, and I mean, you can definitely go back and watch the episode if you haven't, because it's pretty fun. We're pretty funny in it, actually.
You can hear all about why we feel that way about the episode specifically.
My next 2, I was reviewing the list that Robin wrote because she is so very dot. There's a full list that she wrote out of all the episodes, and I was looking at them, and I realized we just watched them, and Edge of Beyond and Web Riders in the Storm, I couldn't remember where one began and one ended because they were so boring. So I put them at my bottom because if an episode, I just watched it and I still don't remember exactly what happened in it, it can't have been that good.
Yeah.
So all the other ones I remembered. I was like, oh yeah, that was so fun rewatching that one. And that whole web arc was so disappointing. So those ones definitely bottom for me.
Those 2 were certainly I considered them for my bottom 3 for sure. So I totally identify with that. I went with different ones for the rest of my bottom 3. I mean, no surprise, In the Belly of the Beast, definitely in my bottom 3. Also, probably no surprise if anyone else has, watched the whole rest of the series, even the rest of season 3, where no sprite has gone before.
Yeah.
I do not stop complaining about. I have so many qualms with that episode. It just sits wrong in every way. And I totally agree with you about Edge of Beyond being so dull. But for me, for my bottom 3, I kind of went with ones that I just found egregious. The episode had to do something that just irritated me or upset me. Mm-hmm. And for that reason, my last choice for bottom 3 might actually be kind of controversial. I'm a little on the fence about this one, but ultimately I went with Infected, the season premiere of season 2. Just because that has always left a bad taste in my mouth. There's something about that episode. It's got a cool setup. There's definitely cool things that happen in it, but the way the characters behave in it has always sat wrong with me. And even when I watch it now, I'm just I don't know. I don't know about that.
Especially too, they set it up that's going to be the pace of the show or the feel of the show. And it really wasn't what season 2 is all about anyway. So I can see where you're coming from on that.
Yeah. And so, let's hop over to top 3.
Okay. My top 3. Okay. This was difficult.
The top 3 is super hard. I have so many honorable mentions.
Yes. And now I'm guessing my top 3 might even match yours a little. Don't peek.
Okay,
She's
not gonna
peeking.
look here.
Number one for me, or I guess one of my top three, Talent Night has to be. I feel like that is like quintessential reboot. It's fun and there's adventure and there's silliness and like insane references that only 25% of the viewers will actually understand. And like, I always felt so good about it. The twist at the end is so fun. And like for me, it felt like that's what Reboot was. Well,
In season
the
one,
beginning.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Another really big one for me that I really liked was Painted Windows. I guess it's like that quirky, fun, weird, but also this is where they start getting a little bit like intense also.
Yeah.
Like it's
but not so much as to alienate you.
Yes, exactly. And of course, everyone loves a good hexadecimal episode.
Yes.
And then Identity Crises, part 1 and 2. They both get on there. And it's funny because I remember as a kid, I didn't identify all that much with the episodes, but rewatching it, that it's when Reboot tried to do something really new and they did it well. And if they could have just kept on with that, like still feeling like they were Reboot, but then getting darker and heavier all the time, like I think that season 3 would have been a lot better. Like
if it had been more the tone of Identity Crisis.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, and it's interesting to me that you have Identity Crisis on your list because for me at the time it was such a standout episode and it's definitely like it's up there with my personal faves.
Oh, but it's not on your top 3?
Absolutely. It's not in my top 3
Well, are you happy that it made it on one of our lists?
Yeah, I am actually. I am because it was definitely an episode that like a pair of episodes that really resonated with me and still do. I still watch them and yeah, I agree with you entirely. And I had never thought of it from that perspective before where you're like it's the first time Reboot starts to break away in tone.
Right.
And it kind of establishes something moving forward that is still carried forward in like other kind of heavier season 2 episodes, like Gigabyte, which I would say is kind of an honorable mention for me.
Ooh, mine too. Yeah, I have a Gigabyte.
Yeah, Gigabyte is definitely a standout. So my top 3 would actually be, for my top 3, I kind of tried to go with ones that I felt like beyond like being cool and episodes that I enjoyed, I thought were just really well made, and each one of these does an interesting thing or did something unique and was kind of the reason why Reboot is such a distinctive show and isn't just your run-of-the-mill 90s cartoon. Mm-hmm. So my top 3 consists of number 7.
Of course, I knew you'd pick number 7.
Yeah. I feel like my top 3 are actually pretty obvious. You could probably guess them if you really wanted to. Enzo the Smart.
Oh, that's an honorable mention for me.
Yeah, I just think Enzo the Smart is such a well-constructed episode, and the way they did everything graphically with the changing in the quality, the image quality, and just even like the gags in Enzo the Smart. What gets me is how much funnier the gags are for me as an adult than they were for me as a kid. I don't know what it is, but I laugh so much harder in that episode. To me, the killer gag of Enzo the Smart is really there's a part where Enzo is like, what would Bob do? And then he looks down and it's a continuation of that joke where Bob is running underneath him with the javelin and Enzo's like, not that Bob. And I love that gag so much and I just it holds up so
I want to put it back on my top 3 now.
Well, it can be an honorable mention.
It is one. It is one for sure.
And no surprise whatsoever, Painted Windows. Painted Windows might even be my number 1. I'm deliberately not rating these because I feel like I
you can't.
Yeah. But absolutely, Painted Windows, just so well done. Just beautifully constructed. Also gets a little bit headier and more serious, but stays quirky and very Reboot.
Very Reboot.
At the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So honorable mentions.
Okay, so we already said Gigabyte was 1.
Yeah.
Just the cool background that you get from the baddies. That was great.
And it being an exciting episode at the same time. It's not all just about the backstory. Like, you're invested in what's going on in it, too.
Yeah, it was really awesome. Well done. Enzo the Smart, again. Yeah, now I really want to put it on my top 3. The Medusa Bug, I want to put it on there because of how much it affected me as a kid, and it still affects me now.
I would consider Medusa Bug an honorable mention, for sure. Yeah.
Game Over.
That's one for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I totally agree. Game Over is a really thrilling episode.
Yeah, it's just, there's so much. Yeah, the tension is big. And then the last one, I was really close to putting it on my top 3, and then I didn't because I think it maybe is just more because I really enjoy the genre. But the Wizards, Warriors, and a word from our sponsor. Yeah. Again, it's just something Love watching it every time.
That might be my personal favorite.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Right.
Other honorable mentions that I have would certainly be the TIFF.
Yes.
I just love the TIFF. It's so fun to watch every single time. And I think those are the big ones for me. Hopefully I'm not going to be like hitting myself remembering another one that I really loved, but I feel like I feel like we've covered the ones that like when I think of ReBoot, those are the ones that just are very dear to my heart. I know,
they're like, that was what really got me, was looking at the list and thinking, oh, I love that one, or oh, I really enjoy that one, and like there's so few stinkers, really.
Yeah.
Like everything's either mildly enjoyable or like great.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, in my opinion.
Yeah, and like the worst offenders, in some cases, are simply the boring ones.
Yes,
like,
that's right. They just were. Oh, right, Bad Bob.
That's a worthy one. I wouldn't necessarily say that's one of my honorable mentions, but I do think it's a well-made episode.
My list is too long, but I really, that one deserves something.
So much of
I think character design. I guess that's the big thing. Is like the whole design. They put so much effort into it.
Yeah. The mega truck. So memorable. Yeah. And one thing I kind of noticed, we'll get to the episode shortly here, but when especially with my top 3 list, but also my bottom 3 list kind of panned out this way too, and not really on purpose, is both my top 3 and bottom 3 have one episode from each season.
Oh, good
so
for
as much as we gripe about season 3 not being quite as fun as the first 2 seasons, or maybe not holding up in the same way, as like not being as excited about it as we were when we watched it when we were younger, it still has noteworthy ones.
Merit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was sorely tempted though to put all season 3 in the bottom, but anyway,
no, it really doesn't hold up for you. No. But on the other hand, there were clunkers in seasons 1 and 2.
Yes.
For sure, as well. Yeah. So, I mean, if you have favorites or least favorites that you want to comment on, by all means, feel free to do so. We love to hear those comments. But I guess we should get on with System Crash, which, for the record, we're kind of assuming that System Crash and End Prog, the last 2 episodes that remain, are not going to be in our top 3 necessarily, but maybe at the end, once we've watched them,
we might honorable mention them, really.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get to System Crash and see how we feel about that. So we're going to start watching that now. Yeah, I know we've kind of said this already, but it's hard to believe we're down to the
last one.
I'm actually really excited to rewatch these episodes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because I do remember System Crash
for that moment
for just
there.
Sailor Binomes. Yeah.
Yes. Honestly, like that is a big part of why I can't wait. I just can't wait to see them.
I know.
A whole other part of my childhood, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. That was so exciting because I mean, at this exact same time, we were also definitely Sailor Moon fans.
Yes.
Because
I'm
both
sure
shows
it's
kind
obvious.
of came to North America at the same time. And
the fact that they were there, like they were smart enough to know to put them in there.
Yeah. The overlap of 2 things that you love is never a bad thing, especially when you're a giddy, easily excited teenager who loves your favorite shows, as we did. I guess the big nostalgia that I get from watching these is also for an era when a TV show meant this much to me.
Yes, that's right.
It's not quite the same now, but I can put myself back in being like a 15-year-old who's just cannot wait to watch this episode and see what happens.
Yes. Yeah, it's true. Like there's not us boring grown-ups. There's not a whole lot that gets us going.
Yeah, exactly. The same giddy thrill isn't really there.
One thing that is amazing to me too is that I really before this, I did not realize there were 2 entire episodes after Megabyte was gone. Like, they can make 2 episodes out of what's happening here.
Just this. And again, it kind of going from the man versus man or sprite versus virus conflict.
Yes.
To
some literature major.
Right, I actually don't have an English degree.
Yeah, I know, but Mrs. Literature major over here.
Misremembering grade 12 English class, basically.
Yeah, that's right. Good job. Your teacher would be so proud. There goes Kiss.
Yep. The first of... This is a pretty reference-heavy episode, too, I think, isn't it? At least they try to squeeze as much into these scenes as possible.
There they are! They can't do anything.
I love the transformation brooch and then doing the camera pans and everything.
They just kill her.
Sailor Moon, no.
No.
I mean, to be fair, they just kill Sailor Moon a lot in the series.
Yeah.
Yeah. She dies a lot.
Yeah, okay. That's her thing.
It's a keeping. And Nullian Modem back.
Oh, and his joking about his move.
Yeah. Can't not have that.
You put yourself back and you're like, no,
I know.
what are they doing?
The 8 ball, the apartment. This is destroying all of our beloved mainframe landmarks and side characters.
Also people.
Yeah, them too.
Well, are they
Binomes,
people though?
right?
Yeah.
We've had many conversations about this. I love it. They give this a real moment. They make this for real, like.
Yes, that's right. Look at that.
Aww. See, true empathy for Binome characters.
They do feel.
Binomes, they are like us after all.
It's shutting down.
If only we had known sooner.
Megabyte's legacy.
It's too late now.
People are dying here. We have to do something.
What we need is a plan.
Uh-oh.
That is a very good idea. What we need.
I couldn't have put it better myself.
Oh, diaper baby.
Yeah. Although it's kind of diaper toddler now, isn't it?
He's grown up.
Walking on his own.
Oh my gosh,
I
they
just
probably
realized
thought
that.
about that. Oh my goodness. Oh, you learn something new every day.
Yeah.
She sure
Every
knows
time
her-
you
Every
rewatch this
review,
series.
yeah.
My sister.
Enzo, how are we doing?
So far, so good.
I love how tough grown
Evacuation
Enzo
of the
is
city
still
proceeding
like
smoothly.
super looking up to his his big sister who's
Yes.
the organizer, even though he's a tough muscle man now.
Rounding up all the stragglers.
I like how she's got her thinking glasses. Oh, she took them off. No, put them back on, Dot.
No, she's gotta get
But I
serious
think
now.
Mouse plans to check him out herself.
Dun 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 dun.
Action music.
This pairing was always to me.
You know, it's kind of like I was about to say, like it's obviously like a pair of the spares
Right,
situation.
yeah.
But I believe it. I
Yeah.
actually do totally believe that these two would be compatible. Like in the scene that sort of establishes it. You know,
Yeah,
they're
I
both
guess
kind
'cause
of
they're-
freewheeling,
Yeah.
free spirit types.
I guess it's not an opposites attract, really, like because they're so similar.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And they're both kind of can't pin me down types, gonna live their free lives, you know, on the net.
And then he
In the
doesn't
web and
come
then-
back, and then he doesn't talk anymore.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, we found it.
Right in the trash.
But it's true. I mean, like I can
Yeah.
believe it. It just like I guess that's what does it. Like
I
it's
forgot
when
they-
you know
They found Fall's
right.
body in the trash.
Right.
Why are those two wearing kilts? Those two binomes have kilts on.
Oh, I'm sure it's a reference that we
I'm
never.
sure it is.
Yeah.
So full of them. Oh,
Thanks, Bob.
We must power down the sectors of the
He's like, it doesn't take a beat.
Nope.
Without energy,
Fong's been through worse.
He's like, what? I didn't need that body. I'm free.
yeah.
Wee.
But how?
Let's get to
The
float
core
in this
control
little
channel
jar.
was practically destroyed in the war.
I really want to see them feed him like fish flakes.
inside the core.
But well, no one can survive prolonged exposure to the core.
I can.
I'm
I'm
magic.
sure you can, Bob.
Yeah.
You can't.
No, really, I'm magic. I can do anything.
Did you not get the memo that I'm Jesus now?
Let's get
It's
started.
just I can see how you might have missed it. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, you know, your brother being all buffed out.
Yeah.
That's
It
distracting.
is.
He's just taking on the role of like principal.
Basically, yeah.
8746, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what that's supposed
Yep.
to be.
Come on, Al. You don't want to be the last one in.
Thank you.
Thank you. We needed that. Yeah.
You did. I do love how they use this episode, like the stakes are so heightened and there's all these very emotional moments, but they make sure to keep inserting
I should have known.
the reboot levity, like the fun. And the
Yeah,
goofiness.
who they really
Binome
are.
jokes, yeah.
Like as soon as they get rid of Megabyte, they can get back to what they were doing. Oh
Man,
yeah.
Pearson!
Oh yeah, High
just
Code
thinking
was
we
another
haven't
one that
seen it.
really was an honorable mention as well.
And I'll tell ye, I'm not going.
But why?
Ye may have given up on mainframe, but I haven't. Now go, leave me alone.
Mr. Pearson. We care about mainframe too. It's just that it's not safe right
And
now.
besides, who are ye to be
I like that Matrix gets to be non-angsty now.
Enzo.
Yeah,
Like
that
he's
too.
being Enzo. Like,
The
Yeah.
wee lad was lost to the games.
No, I
Aw.
survived the games by living in game sprite mode. I fought long and hard to get back to mainframe.
but interesting. He has to like show the icon every time he refers to that. I wonder
They're
if
like,
it's like
I
something where
don't
we're not
believe you.
Andrea?
What?
She loves to stab people.
She really does. She does that a lot, doesn't
Okay,
she?
I've got him.
The thing too is like I'm like because she's a game sprite, she probably doesn't even have a moment of conscience about it. Like she's
Yeah,
just like,
she's like, "This is what we
this
do."
will work.
Yeah.
I think we're about to find out.
Yeah, I think the icon thing is like them having to project, and that was cool when you saw like all these guys coming back. But the icon thing is like having to project to the audience almost like they don't believe we're going to remember what game sprite mode means. Like, I wonder if that's why.
You know, I used to think, I used to wonder why, but like, yeah, there's so many cartoons that do that. It's like maybe are
Ready when you
kids
are.
really that bad at remembering things?
Well, again, this was back in the day when you
So,
wouldn't
you'll
watch
keep an eye on those power fluctuations
12
for me.
episodes all in a row.
In a
too,
row, there's
right?
no,
Like, it's
there was
been
no
months
binge
since-
watching. Yeah, that's true.
Not unless you recorded it on VHS and.
But then again, it's like if you wouldn't know, you could
Yeah.
just pass it off and just be like, okay, what games? Oh, who cares? But like for the people who would know, they'd know. They'd remember. There was a lot of episodes in that arc.
Okay, that was a real Bob moment again. That was nice.
Oh, I interrupted him.
No,
I'm so
no, I know,
sorry.
I'm
What
just-
did he say?
No, we just like, it's not like we'll never see each other again, right? It's like, yeah, Bob totally never, not thinking about the consequences, just
Yeah.
going right in.
Oh dear.
I like too how this is like a weird thing to happen, but it makes perfect sense that the game, or, yeah,
All
game
the game data
information,
would
yeah,
be like, yeah, exactly. And it's so perfect for what at the time was going to be their second to last episode, because it's almost like you get a clip show,
Yes.
but like more exciting.
yes,
It's
exactly.
like, hey, remember when this happened in ReBoot?
so we know
Although
how
it's
they
funny
got
because the stakes are still just as high because you can get nullified if you died. So this one you're just gonna get nullified
Yeah.
if you die.
True.
Oh, that clown is so creepy.
Not this time.
And I do love how like the polygon ones are still polygons. Like they didn't try to like,
Yeah, that's
render
right.
them. And so perfect that Matrix would have to like fight against the demon again.
Right. Yeah, fitting.
Poetic justice.
And of course, I love the Detective
I
Santa.
love seeing Ray beat up Santa.
It's awesome.
And Mouse hold a clown at knife point is also a pretty good moment.
Yeah. I wonder if they polled the audience for like their favorite game bad guys, game villains.
I feel like knowing ReBoot, they just chose their own. like knowing
Yes,
these guys are
that's
so
right.
into entertaining themselves and just
Yeah.
expecting us to go along for the ride.
Yeah, good point.
They pulled The Office.
Yes.
Hey guys.
Stand up, Satan.
Stand up so I can blow you up standing. Well, I guess Matrix isn't going to shoot a guy when he's down, right?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, he probably
not.
wouldn't.
Unless it's a virus. He'll do it all the time for
Ew.
viruses. Yeah, have the
Oh,
Foley in
how
there.
many sounds?
I know. Did they have to put in there? Oh wait, I remember now why Matrix has to change his icon to game sprite mode. There's
What?
a story reason for it, but you're not going to remember. I don't want to spoil it for you to remember it, but I just remembered that there is a reason.
Oh.
Because I was like, his icon is still in game sprite. Wait.
Got a
Oh.
bad feeling about this.
Of course, I had to bring that the very first episode.
Yes,
you know.
of course. And I love that it is bike versus plane.
Yeah, and she's on the Megabike. Yeah, she would
Yeah.
totally steal his
She would
bike.
totally
She'd be like,
stolen
Megabike's
it.
gone, finally.
Mine. He wouldn't know what to do with this.
Exactly. Yeah, Andrea would seriously be like, oh, he didn't
Yeah.
know how to treat you.
No.
I'm gonna show you what you can really do.
Misha's like, what, are you talking to me? No.
Game over, user.
Nice turnaround there. I was about to say, like, that's a lot of missiles, but it is megabytes.
Yeah,
like,
right. And
the
you may as well
megabyte.
use them. Everyone's...
Yeah.
I always wondered why that had to look so much like Frisket. It's very confusing to me.
It does, actually, yeah. I never thought about that.
I remember thinking a long time ago. And
Where's
thinking,
Frisket?
Sailor.
Wait a second. Like, I know they're like They're probably trying to keep things pared down. And we even have, like, the morphed,
Yes.
like, weirdo. Because
Yeah,
even
another
that
one that
corrupted
almost
data got reserved.
made on my honorable mention list.
It's just so weird. I was
I
just
know.
like, I don't know whether this is a great episode or a bad one.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
I'm glad they have some kind of a ship back.
Yeah.
Oh, that was close. We must leave here.
Oh yeah, I guess the doctor would still be.
Gone.
And infected?
Oh yeah, he is still infected. I guess Megabyte's infection doesn't automatically dissipate when Megabyte's gone.
Oh, nice shadow.
Yeah.
Is that a rolling pin?
It looks, I think it's her arm, but it does look a little bit.
I don't know.
She's got a pointy elbow, right?
I'm in the core.
That's
I'm about
true.
to power
That's a
down
good
the
point.
sectors.
I still think she was holding a rolling pin.
She
Dot, are
would.
you there? Dot!
Again, they put a lot of care into choosing the villains who they go up against in a lot of cases, because Dot totally fought this guy last time too.
Yes, that's right.
Love that he's back.
The thing that's
God,
great too,
poor
though,
Specky, that
like
was brutal.
I've never been slapped in my life.
Right?
But I like how they're showing that it's like it's a challenge, but because they're all actually working together and
Yeah,
on their own
that's
turf,
true.
like it's not actually that difficult.
Yeah. It's just the sheer numbers. Oh my, that's great.
Yes,
Can't forget that moment. Enzo never did like eating his vegetables.
punch it, punch the shark.
I know, right?
You know, funny, they wouldn't have seen vegetables. He'd be like, "What is this thing?"
That's true, actually.
Not exactly.
Vegetables are only ever animated to them. Oh, I forgot about this.
Megabyte.
Yeah, me too. Oh man.
You still have to keep Tony J's amazing talent around
Yes.
for at least one more episode. Also,
Nice.
like, this is a nice, like, end of your budget thing to do. Same as a clip show, where you, it's like, yeah, let's just reuse all these assets again. But
Yeah,
it's exciting
yeah,
and fun and
exactly.
recontextualized.
Thanks, Andrea.
Now that is a
Oh.
nice bike.
Now I remember.
Have you been having fun without
The
me?
game
Yeah.
sprite, yeah. Okay.
Never.
Oh, let me get that for you. Please put your hands off of me, you know that.
Again, the character voice actors, all of their greatest.
Yep.
Come on. We'll all be safer inside.
Oh, really, Bob? I thought you'd be happy to see me.
But how? Wait a nano.
That's right.
It's
Yes,
interesting to me
smart.
that Bob isn't immediately like
When I knew
Megabyte
was doomed,
blast
I
in the
left a little
face with
something behind.
glitch beams or
Keep
something.
any
Yeah. Well,
Because
he's in
Enzo
the
would have just
core.
straight up punched him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it does. It shows that even though Bob was carefree and silly as he was in the first two seasons, he was still kind of clever.
Yeah, and he's like, what's really going on here? I want to understand the situation before I do anything.
Right. Yeah, like he was mildly impulsive, not shooty.
Yeah, exactly. This is cool too, because they had to be like, Bob has to physically be doing something, and it has to look engaging and interesting. And that little switch thing is just like, it doesn't need to have a rhyme or reason to it.
That's right.
It just has to look cool.
It has to look. Yeah. Oh, and the colors are changing. Oh, there must be some kind of sequence to
Yeah. There's Frisket.
it. Here he is. He's definitely not a ship.
Payback time.
As you get mauled by my dog,
Yeah.
by my little brother's dog.
His arm is gross.
Yeah, it sure is. Oh my gosh, I'd forgotten that. Jeez.
That's a little bit much.
And again, they have to make the sound to make it as gruesome as possible.
Where's Bob?
Bob? Oh,
Who's
no.
Bob?
Bob! Bob, are you there? Bob! There's no answer.
Oh, well, there goes Sector 31. Pity. I did so enjoy Al's energy shakes.
I believe that.
Really? I was about to say, no, you didn't.
We just lost Sector 31!
But several subsectors around the city have powered down.
Bob must be all right, my children.
The tears seem to have stopped too.
Come on, Bob.
Yes, you just saved one sector, but while you did, 2 others were destroyed. Yes, there's no way to save them all.
Oh, Megabyte, you're so annoying.
I know, right?
It's hard to comment on it because
is.
you're just watching it.
I know.
You're welcome,
I'm into
audience.
it. Yeah.
I just want to say that it's been a pleasure working with you.
It's been great working with you too, though. Even though you did rat me out with Megabyte.
Never leave that alone.
No,
Even in this almost profound moment.
no.
Just hold me.
It's a lot of pain.
Oh,
I was just
my.
thinking about when Mike comes back.
Everyone's favorite talking television.
Can't have hack and slash without Mike.
No.
Oh.
Still really wish I could have my wacky adventures of Mike and Hack and Slash and Scuzzy. We haven't seen Scuzzy around at all either since the first arc of season 3.
Bob, come in.
Does Scuzzy come
in,
back?
Bob.
Eventually, at least.
Right.
I'm coming with
But I don't know if we see him before like season 4. Surely he's in season 4.
I'm trying to remember. We'll have to look for him.
There's no way you can win, Bob. No, you can't.
It's interesting to hear Megabyte being flustered.
Yes, you don't often hear
No.
that.
Stop me.
That was an interesting cut.
Yeah, it was. Oh, that was the Megabyte tube. There we go. I'm really sad about
thank
it, though,
God.
for some
Yeah,
reason.
right? And again, that effect from Medusa Bug being so cool that we have to like...
Yes.
It's like, why not just do roughly the same thing again? Because it's awesome and
It
harrowing.
worked the
and
first
ominous.
time. Oh, poor sad Bob.
I know. Although I do always remember thinking that Tired Bob looks a little weird. Like his model wasn't quite designed for
Yeah.
it. But, you know, I still buy it though.
Come on, Magic Bob. Yeah, does he just kind of looks melty?
Yeah. Like they just took all the like points on his face and turned
And just
them
dragged
down.
them down for a little bit. Yeah. This user
We
must
seem
not
to
be
be
impressed at
processing.
all.
Just barely.
I will get a reading on our status.
Thank you, phone.
Status is red with a little bit of green.
Bob!
System out of danger.
Bob, are you all right?
I'm okay. Really. I just need to rest a little.
Here,
She looks cute.
let me help
She
you.
does.
No, really. Let me.
No way! Let me!
Of course.
Disgusting.
The girl's tasty, but where's all the food?
It's like the worst ever.
Is Matrix not going to shoot him? Like
I know,
someone do
seriously.
something.
Please.
Don't worry, I'll get him.
Okay, there
Thank
we
you,
go.
Andrea.
How are we doing?
The news
Not going to
is
help Dot
not
up or
good, my
anything.
son.
No, now
She's
covered
strong
in
and independent.
raccoon germs.
Survived Megabyte's bane, but mainframe is still doomed.
Oh,
It was a good try, everybody. Give yourselves a pat on the back for that, at least.
they're all their little draggy
I know.
face corners.
At least I kind of buy Matrix's draggy face, but I feel like his design was intended for it.
Right. Yes. They probably did a lot of
Making sure he looked serious when he was serious.
Yes. His happy smile is what looks
It's a
weird.
really weird one, yeah. That's an exciting episode.
It
I was excited to watch that, and I remember why now, because it's very like.
Well, I mean,
there's so much
everybody
going
likes
on.
the complete destruction of everything they hold dear.
Right, yeah. I know, that's an episode where everybody gets to do something.
Yes.
It's fun for all the characters. If you have a favorite character, you get to see them being cool and fun.
Yeah, and by that point too, like we were super ultra super fans. Like
Yeah.
so I mean,
It
we
feels like an
remembered.
homage.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
really knew all the episodes backwards and forwards leading up to that.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was a big deal.
Yeah, that episode is kind of a good like love letter, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, they didn't I feel like maybe you could make a list of things that they missed, but
Yeah.
I couldn't do it right
And
now.
again, like as far as like the beats and the moments that they do hit, even down to like giving hack and slash a moment that's like funny
Yes.
but sweet and perfectly them, and reintroducing Mike the TV
Because of
part
course.
of you is like, well, where has he been?
Yeah.
And even before we watched this episode, I was like, when does Mike come back? Like I was even having, I'm like, I know he's back at some point,
and
but-
it feels really like the way that they organized it didn't feel choppy or weird.
No, it flowed really nicely. And it
Yeah.
was well paced and everything.
It wasn't just a room full of people going, "Hey, remember that time when we did this?"
Yeah, precisely.
Which it could have been. It could easily have been them going,
Yeah.
"Well, it's all going downhill. Remember that time?"
Yeah. Or even they could have done the same concept, but executed in a way that was not as smooth.
Yes.
So it just kind of felt like random, unconnected beats instead of one cohesive whole episode where everyone was kind of working together and one sort of moment flowed naturally into the next. And everything was well edited. Everything went back to characters and who characters are. It felt oddly character driven for an extremely actiony episode.
You're right. I was like going through my head, like what exactly was done. And it was really just a lot of fighting. But yeah, it really did feel like they were still making connections to who they were.
Yeah.
It was good.
Matrix trying to convince Old Man Pearson, and
Yes.
Bob and Dot kind of getting their moments, and again down to hack and slash, and
Fong taking over his place again, like
yeah,
being kind of their
mentor,
president. I don't know.
yeah,
the figurehead.
yeah. Oh,
I'm sorry.
oh,
I know.
no, but we needed that. That was important.
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, any last thoughts on System Crash?
No, let's do the next one.
All right, yeah. Well, we're going straight to the next one. If you've been watching these as they come
No,
out,
I
you'll
mean
have to leave it.
all of us, the
Like
collective.
moving on to the next one. Okay.
Yeah, watch the next one
What's
too.
the next one? Okay.
Because it's clear. Is it up yet? I don't know. What day is it? Is it the future?
Yes. All right. So until next time, until the final episode of season 3, this has been the Reboot Review. I'm Robin.
I'm Katie.
Stay frosty.
What?